Well, if you can't do it your way, you gotta do it their way. Who's the most popular magic YouTuber of all time? Clearly, it's Desolator Magic. Hey guys, Desolator Alec here, and on X-Mage, this deck I made destroyed every computer player, including the one who was using Necropotence. Wait, did he just pay all 40 of his life? What the fuck? Anyways, this is the legendary banana deck that I have made, except in EDH form. Instead of black and blue, it's green and blue. The commander's power is due to its simplicity. It's a deck about unblockable creatures because your cheap commanders allow your creatures to draw a card whenever they damage an opponent. And given how cheap they are, blue's greatest weakness, green's greatest weakness. I'm not saying Simic because I'm not a pretentious whore! Anyways, blue and green's greatest weakness comes in the form of board wipes, and yet you can easily replenish yourself afterwards with a handful of cheap creatures. In some cases, it's actually possible to deck ourselves out with the broken monstrosity that seems to appear in every deck, Laboratory Maniac. Or Laboratory Maniac? I don't fucking know. All goes well when you have your commander in this deck. Just drawing cards, hitting the opponent again and again and again. But you won't always have your commander because he's a pretty notorious target at the table, so we have plenty of backup plans for that. Starting with some of the cheapy creepies, we got Nirok Commando. It's annoying to deal with. It draws cards and might be unblockable because there's a lot of stuff in this deck that allows others to become unblockable too. Hey, that's nice. Warfree makes a bunch of 3/2s and also loots when it deals combat damage. Most of the creatures in the deck are, most of the cards. Most of the creatures are most of the cards. So yeah, you'll be making some 3/2s. Meringue Prowler is so durable. He's durable as hell. Like, didn't they learn from Dredge? Didn't they learn from Dredge, guys? To stop casting shit from the graveyard. It's like so fucking broken, goddammit. You can play 3 mana to replay him over and over. If you have a green permanent, this is gonna be banned in Vintage and anti-tournaments due to its sheer power. Look, it's 2 for a 3 mana. Oh my god, it's power. It's almost as much as Colossal Dreadmaw and Stormcrow, which, out of shame, I will not be running in this deck. You also have late game value and finishers. Hypnotic Siren starts out, another weenie, another guy, another piece of fodder for Edric, but later in the game can control a creature and make them even tougher. Hoopo is a good mana sink, but once again, like the Hypnotic Siren, can get in early game, so that's a plus. Mercfiend buffs your team, and sometimes double buffs your team. The Prowl spells do a ton if you happen to deal damage with an unblocked rogue. Triumph of Hordes or Beastmaster's Ascension, which, by the way, guys, is also in the deck. Just tend to just win the game on the spot because you know why? 3 mana to give everything permanently +5/+5. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Oh. In reference to stuff like the aforementioned Hoopo and Siren, the most broken part is how late game threats can be quite cheap. Like, you might win quickly. And though I deliberately don't look at the modern metagame, I know that it's broken in half due to Edric alone. He should be banned in modern. He isn't legal in modern, you twat. He isn't legal in modern. What? No, he isn't legal. Shut the fuck up. You're a drone of wizards to actually look at the stats on Google or see a card's legality. Boycott all information. Anyways, the most obvious replacements for Edric are the cards that draw whenever combat damage is dealt to an opponent, or some other cool shit, like, Dousing Dagger. Not like defenders will do anything to you, unless it fits that broken-ass arcades where the whole deck doesn't work if he die. There are actually a few ways to draw without combat damage, too. A lot of the time, you're going to be playing a lot of creatures anyways. Guardian Project and Hazard's Monument allow you to sift through your deck which can come as a surprise if you have an Allurin out. Remember Laboratory Maniac? That'd be a surprisingly busted and out of nowhere win. Basically, it works like this. So you basically play cards, a bunch of cards for free, a bunch of creatures, and you draw based off of each one of them, and you draw two with both of them out. You discard land cards, you draw your entire deck, and with Laboratory Maniac, you play for free, you win. Yay. To round out the deck, we will deal with the answers that, to a certain extent, have synergy with the rest of the deck. Got a classic card like Counterspell that isn't too synergistic, but a lot of the cards like Mausoleum Wanderer can be a card drawing little menace, but it can also deal with obnoxious board wipes. While Beast Within the Beast doesn't really do anything, because the drawback doesn't prevent our unblockable creatures from attacking all the livelong day. Overall, this deck makes me angry that Wizards of the Coast would print something as game-breaking as Cryptolith Right or this deck. Let me go on a tangent about transgenders for literally no reason. Okay, I hope y'all understand that I was kind of joking when I kept calling things, broken and whatnot. Well, jokes aside, I feel a bit more proud of this one than the previous video. Hopefully the like to dislike ratio will improve because it's not as flashy with its effects. And this is a deck that's very customizable. Edric is one of the toughest commanders in the format, arguably. Easily top 20. It's like a bulldozer that keeps coming back no matter what. Some of the more avant-garde decks can cause it some trouble though. In fact, the Rakdos Showstopper deck that I made a month or two ago might do decently against it. The repeated board wipe might outrace the hand and card drawing, so it might not be able to refill fast enough. Also, the creatures don't have haste. In no way am I saying my version is the most powerful variant. There's better versions, more budget versions, and you can check the link in my description. The deck's simplicity might be its greatest strength and weakness, as I have some more interesting and unique decks planned. Objectively much weaker, but they might be tricky enough to take down some of these and some of the big dogs because they're so unpredictable. Please comment what commander I should do next week, and also what I should change about this video format, because, a lot of constructive criticism, as annoying as it can be, it's all useful. So, see you later, guys.